guys, welcome back to Calling the Shots with Kiki
and Sarah.
And happy Thursday if you're listening on a Thursday, and if not, happy whatever day it is.
Yeah.
We hope it's a good one.
Yeah. Happy to be here.
We're always, yes.
Happy that you're here.
Honestly,
listening.
yeah, that's the most important. We're happy that we have people here listening. It's fun.
It is
because it's just fun for us to
talk.
Just to talk.
Chat.
Today we're chatting in preparation for the NFL season.
Yes.
It feels so, it's like okay, a little preface. We're chatting NFL season. We're going to pick some of the top most well-known players or coaches, and we will be categorizing them
in a fun way.
Should we
I feel
keep
like
it a
we
surprise?
Should surprise them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see how we're categorizing them.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Doesn't it feel like fall now that football's here?
Yes. And I love fall for that reason. But I also...
It means
winter's coming.
And don't even say it.
And the fact, earlier this week, if you're living in Utah, it poured.
It really did.
When it rains here, it gets very cold. It dropped from 80 degrees one day to a high of 50, 56.
This morning it was 55.
Yeah. Which is crazy. I mean, it got warm throughout the day,
did.
But the day that it rained, the high was 56.
Yes, it did. I wish the rain was warm because I actually think mountain storms are cool.
Oh yeah, they look gorgeous.
And there's thunder. Weather. Yeah. And there's lightning, and it's really epic. I think maybe I've been very much I went to the store yesterday and was looking for fall and Halloween decorations. I don't know, I'm super into fall right now. And but most of the time I'm it's not fall yet, it's still summer. And I'm maybe I just need to embrace fall and fall will feel longer.
True. Summer felt so short. And I was very upset about that because it it only got super hot 2 weeks out of the summer. And then did you see that it snowed up in Snowbird?
No way.
Yeah. It snowed.
That's crazy.
So I was I'm not prepared for this.
The first snow of the year in September.
Yeah.
The last snow of the year was in June.
Yeah.
Probably up in the mountains.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a little rough, but I'm so excited. Football's back. It's been so fun to have college football back. And now we have the NFL starting back up on Friday, the day after this episode's released.
I know. Also, how are you doing personally?
I'm good. I'm doing great. I was going to tell you something. Oh my gosh. I was literally before the show, I was about to tell you something. I was no, I'm going to wait till the podcast. And I forgot it, but I just remembered. I listened to almost the full episode of the Kelsey's podcast.
Did you enjoy it?
They are hilarious. They are just so...
These are the brothers that play in the NFL that we always talk about.
That we always talk about. And their podcast is really funny. And I hadn't listened to a full episode because they took a break for preseason basically and for training camp. And so the last one they posted, I was this one's kind of dated. So I didn't listen to the whole thing, but then they just released one, I think comes out every Wednesday. Last Wednesday. And they're just hilarious. Their banter,
I need to listen.
They're just so funny. And it's fun to hear their insights into football because it's just we don't always get that.
100%.
And they kind of spill the tea on things, and they're just so funny. And it just shows their personalities, which I love.
Yeah, I love that too. I need to listen to one of theirs. I haven't.
Yeah,
but I
on
will.
My way here,
that's smart. That's smart.
A lot of it. I've been I split it up when I have time and I'm not. If I'm doing dishes or driving somewhere, then I got in the habit of turning it on because it's an hour plus.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a longer one, but they're super funny and their personalities are just amazing. So honestly, once they're done, they better be on broadcast somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure. They will. 100%.
They're amazing.
They have too much of a personality to not be a commentator or an analyst or debating something. 100%. Also, though, I ask how you're doing because of the Florida game. We haven't had an episode since.
We haven't talked. I honestly blocked it out of my memory.
Okay.
That's why when you said that, I was I don't know what you're
good
referring to.
I was just going to let you go with it and then see if we got there. now we're here.
Yeah, I blocked it out of my brain because I just don't want to think about that team or what's happening with them. But we can talk about it because, like, normally when I watch Florida football, like, my expectations are pretty high. Unlike they are, this sounds bad. But, like, BYU, I don't really ever keep my expectations very high just because of history. I know. Whereas, like, Florida, they're expected to be good. Yeah. And I have high standards for them. And so if you didn't watch, Florida got completely, like, embarrassed by Utah. Yeah. And it was rough. It wasn't even Utah's doing. It was like they self-imploded and just, like, lack of discipline, so many stupid fouls. Like, I don't want to get into all of it. And when I normally watch Florida football, and if it ever frustrates me, I can just turn it off. Or I can just walk away. And I have to do that sometimes because I know, like, I shouldn't be getting this upset about football. But I do. And, like, me and my mom are very similar in this way. Like, I just walk away. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't watch it. I'll watch the highlights after or, like, see what the score is and go from there. But, like, I had to work this game. And I've never had to work a Florida game before.
Oh, because for Pac-12,
they played
Utah
Pac-12. So, like, I was literally getting paid. It's my job to sit here and watch this game.
Your team get wrecked.
I was, like, furious. Like, I was getting so angry. I'm like, Sarah, you need to, like, calm down. It's, like, chill out. But, like, normally I can walk away. And I couldn't walk away because I literally had to watch the game. And I was texting my family being like, I'm so happy that the Pac-12 doesn't play Florida very often because I don't know if I could do this, like, every week or every month. Or I mentally could not handle it. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know, I'm, like, pretty good with other teams about that. But, man, Florida just really gets under my skin. And
I'm so sorry.
It was disappointing. I don't think our head coach is going to last through the season. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
On the topic of Florida, I started watching Swamp Kings.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
So, Swamp Kings, guys, is about Florida.
Florida went through a hot streak between, like, 2005 and 2009 where they were dominating college football. They won.
They brought Urban Meyer over and it, like...
Yeah, and it changed the game.
Things.
I have thoughts, but you can go first.
I haven't seen it all. I don't think we should get into it too much.
Yeah.
What I will say, so also this is known to be, like, the most controversial,
scandalous team.
Like, when we, like, literally, like, murder involved.
Yeah.
Like,
like, more than half the team now, not back then, but now are, like, in jail or have been in jail.
Yeah. Like, guys, it's crazy. Yeah. So I think, here's the thing. I feel like I saw trailers where they were like the craziest.
Advertised it wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Guys, they advertised it like what Sarah and I are talking about, like the scandal, this team, can you believe it? Like, and then
it's going to be about is like, they dominate on the field, but it's the way that they advertised it was that it was going to be mainly about like the players and the issues going on off the field.
Yes, and it wasn't about that like at all.
They touched on a few things and a few players like admitted to like not living the best lives.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nearly what was advertised.
Which I think like, okay, so my boyfriend and I were like, he's like, let's watch it. And I was like, we can watch it, but I want you to watch this TikTok of someone analyzing it beforehand because I would not have been prepared. And he was like, oh, that's why I would want to watch it. Like, I want to watch it for the football aspect, which is what it's about. But they just didn't advertise it that way. Like that. I think if you go in like knowing like this is going to be about the football element, it's like, okay, cool. Yeah. But
for sure.
That was some, they were trying to, that was some.
It was just, it didn't make, what frustrates me is like, everyone knows that all these things happened. I think some people are surprised that a lot of it happened after the players left Florida. Yeah. Some happened while they were at Florida, yes. A lot of it happened after. But they didn't advertise it like that.
Yeah.
And as a Florida fan, like, I'm okay watching it and being like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
But, like, understand people's frustration, and I feel like it just doesn't look good for, like, Florida. It looks like they're trying to hide things.
Yeah.
But I feel like Florida's not the one making this film. So it's just weird.
Right, but I doubt they would agree to have a film be made about them.
Oh, true. And I don't think they would have gotten everyone to like be on it if it was all about that.
But you could, I mean, they wouldn't have gotten everyone, but it could be from a different perspective. Like there's 2 Tiger Woods documentaries, one that him and his family improved,
and one that they didn't.
Yeah. But it's good. It's just like like I like it, but it's not like
it's not what
they were very
gonna be.
They were very clickbaity in the way they advertised it. Same.
Also, you know, I love Tim Tebow. The way he was speaking, like literally just his voice, like was bothering me.
Okay, same. I was
like, why are you talking like this? And like you're, I don't know. It was like almost like reverent.
So, do you know what? I literally was like, I've never heard Tim Tebow talk like that. I've never heard him talk that long. So I was like, maybe it's like because I've only heard like clips of him. But he was talking. I don't know why he sounded so like emotionally.
From someone who has heard him talk a lot, like preacher mode, like football mode, analyst mode, he doesn't sound like that.
That's true. He doesn't sound like that. Okay, maybe this is just a new side of him we haven't seen. And I'm
like, it bothered me though, because it was almost like self-righteous, like I don't know. I'm like, I don't want to be bothered by you because I love you, but you're bothering me.
Honestly, Sarah, I had the same opinion, and I thought this was not going to go over well.
No, it's okay.
Wow.
Because like, I love him, but like, you know, no one's perfect, but it like literally, I was like, stop talking.
Yeah, his voice is really annoying. like
stop
he's
talking.
Literally like talking, like very soft and slow. And like meaningful and deep.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, it's not that deep.
It's like we're talking about football here, and we're literally talking about people like puking and fighting.
Yeah, and like it's hyped, like all this hype around this team, and you're talking like this. And oh my gosh,
didn't match. It didn't match.
Bothered me.
It was not the vibe.
Yeah, just not like I can see him in other aspects.
100%.
Which I didn't know because...
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thanks.
Honestly. That says a lot about your character. Oh, that's
anyways.
Funny. Okay. The other thing that I said I was going to touch on this podcast when we did this episode is that I'm finally in a fantasy league.
Oh, yes.
There's only like 5 of us. Yeah. But you know what? I'm so happy.
Yeah,
I've never been invited to a fantasy league.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's crazy. Wait, I feel like people in our coworkers did something.
You think they invited me? I'm just kidding. No, but like I don't think who. I guess you don't have to like say their names, but I'm like I was never.
I feel like some of the guys did it.
Yeah, and I think it was just guys.
Yeah.
I think it was just dudes.
Yeah.
I've never gotten, which is, and I get it, I do, here's the thing. I get that fantasy leagues, sometimes run deep. Sometimes people have been doing them with their families for years.
And there's a whole, draft process
100%.
That's, super
intense.
Yeah.
And, I know that, some friend groups are, they're really serious. They've been planning it all year. I'm not that's fine.
Yeah.
And a lot of it are just dudes doing it. So I was like, whatever. But then one of my work friends texted me and I was like, yes, finally, let's do this.
I love that for you.
And it was so fun. And especially when there's only 5 of us or whatever, it's you can actually pick good players. Yeah. The draft process is so. It was I was stressing, just counting down. I'm like, I gotta go to the draft board.
Yeah.
But it was really fun, and I've been seeing a lot of TikToks. Okay, which for me, I do pay attention to the NFL. Yes. I was okay, I don't know how I had to ask how do you want to draft a fantasy team?
Yeah.
And it's okay, my boyfriend's you get good wide receivers first, running backs, then go to quarterbacks. Or do this at this point. I was okay, because I'm I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, what the order
and process is. But I know players' names. Yeah. I know
who's good and who's not.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not, But there have been the funniest videos going around of these women that are we are making our own fantasy league and we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, and they're no consulting with your significant other.
Yes.
And all of these things.
My favorite one was one of them was my girlfriends and I made a fantasy league, but our husbands are the ones who have to play the teams. So, like, they picked the players. And they're like, we're purely picking it off, like, their photos and names. We don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
And we are not allowed to discuss with them. And then they're like, that's their team. I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So there's been funny things going around. You sent me that TikTok of...
there's, like, a comedian talking about how, like, fantasy football, like, he's like, how far off do we have to be to, like, it's a game. And now we're making this whole fantasy... Like,
it's a game as in, like, football is a game.
It's not that serious. And
like, you watching it is not that serious.
It's not that serious.
That is a fantasy.
You are wishing that you could do that, and you can't. And then that's not enough, that you have to go and create your own teams in some other fantasy world about fantasy teams that you can't even... Anyways, it was just...
It was funny.
It was funny. You did ask me if I want to do one.
Yeah, for the record, Sarah did not want to do one. And I respect that.
Here's the thing. I did one in high school for, like, one of my classes. Like, a bunch of us did it. And I'm, like, very competitive. And it takes a lot for me to, like, not be so serious about something like that. Yeah. Where it's to the point where I'm constantly thinking about it. And, like, it consumes me. And I just don't have the energy or the time to, like...
To be fair, Sarah was very nice.
Do that.
She did say, if you really want to do one for the pod...
Yes.
And maybe invite, like, Kira to it or whoever, we could do one.
Yeah. If we want to make really content about it.
But I wasn't going to do one. And I was like, it's okay, dude. It is okay.
I appreciate the sport because I'm like, when I tell people that, I'm like, I'm already so invested in sports.
But I think that's why people would be surprised. They don't understand.
Where I'm like, I need a break. And if I'm in I know it's not necessarily needs to be competitive, but I will take it seriously competitively, just knowing myself. That's how I am with video games. That's why I don't play video games. Because if I did, I wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
So I have to, like, put boundaries places.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. It does.
So, anyways, speaking of, what else is going on in the world of sports?
What else is going on in the world of sports? We're going to move to Messi. There's just always something with him. Okay, did you see, so first of all, Messi played in LA for the first time.
Yes.
Since he's been living in America.
Yeah.
Did you see, let's see, I have a list of it. Did you see the list of celebrities that were there?
No, I saw lots of videos of a bunch of different celebrities, but man, the stars showed up. It was kind of crazy.
It was actually crazy. Like, literally, like, Prince Harry, Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah. Like, the list was...
Selena, Tyga.
The list was crazy, and it makes total sense. Let's see. Yeah, there's literally so many. And some of them, it's like also, there was 2 Spider-Mans there. Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire.
Love that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I personally love that. Owen Wilson, also, his kids are, like, Messi fans, and they interviewed him before because I was watching ahead of time. And he was like, listen, they have Messi Miami jerseys, but he's like, but we are an LAFC family, and I told them they are not allowed to wear it, so they are in their LAFC jerseys. And they got their shirts. They afterwards pulled out, like, their Miami shirt, and they were like, had him sign it at the end of the game. So it was cute. It was really fun. Everyone was super invested because you're watching the GOAT at work.
Yeah.
And Selena Gomez and Tyga were like,
went viral
for their
reaction
because
it was like a blocked shot.
Yeah, he took a shot and it was blocked, and their jaws just, like, dropped.
They were like they were getting ready to, like, celebrate, and then it got blocked, and then, like, it went from celebration to, like, shock.
Yes,
and it was very funny.
It was so funny,
and, like, it went viral, and then another video came out of, like, a reporter asking Selena if she had a message. Like, he mentioned the video that went viral and was like, do you have a message for Messi? And she was just like, oh, I just love you so much. And I just love Selena Gomez.
We've talked about her.
But, like, she's so...
I'm like, yeah, Selena, our bestie.
Selena Gomez. But, I just love her, and she's so funny.
She's the literal best. do you know what's funny? Is Sarah told me, like, yeah, there's video, and she was just saying how she loved Messi. Sarah starts playing it on her phone. I'm sitting across from her, and I forget that Selena Gomez also speaks Spanish.
Yeah, because it was a Spanish reporter, so they're speaking Spanish.
Yeah, because I just forgot. I was like, what are you? But I'm like, so Spanish is around me so much for work. Like, it doesn't usually surprise me, but I was just like, that's right, Selena Gomez speaks Spanish. Which is awesome.
Love that.
Love that for her in her Hispanic heritage. It's almost Hispanic Heritage Month, so shout out.
Oh my gosh, that's right. So exciting.
I know, so fun. So that was super fun. And this is not fun.
Yeah, transitioning.
Actually, we are happy about this.
Yes, there's some positives to this, but another soccer topic.
So we've told you about all the things going on with the Spanish women's national team, and we've just been kind of waiting for things to develop. Are they going to fire people? What's going to happen? So
finally have an update.
Yeah, we finally have an update. Jorge Vilda, he is the manager of the Spanish national women's soccer team, and he's been fired. There's still no news about Luis Rubiales, which is the president. He's the one who actually did the kissing.
Yeah, but there was issues with the manager before the World Cup happened.
Yeah, it's deep rooted.
Yeah,
guys.
It's deep rooted. But yeah, he had some issues, and he was involved with why players wouldn't play for the team.
There was that was a big part of it. Is it was the manager, the president. They're like, this is not an organization we want to be a part of. So, we're glad that he is at least. We're glad that he's at least fired, and the Spanish Federation has released an official apology. When you read it earlier, they're basically just like, we're sorry, we're embarrassed.
We're embarrassed for the nation, for the world.
For the world of sport, for the world of soccer. I'm sure they said football, but yeah.
Yeah, so that was there's some developments, which is good. Things are moving in a direction that's hopefully positive and continues to be positive. We'll see what happens with the president and if things come out.
And we're just gonna remain hopeful because he sucks.
Yep. Pretty much.
If you didn't listen to our last episode, we went off about it. So you can listen there because he does not deserve any more of our time. But the amazing women do, and they deserve to have him as a president.
Better.
So they deserve better. Yeah.
Anyways, transitioning to American football.
Yeah. The other type of football. Okay, so we did our college football episode. Mm-hmm. And we talked about different teams, kind of more like a vibe check on them. Mm-hmm. And one of the teams we talked about
was Colorado.
For good reason.
Yes, because
and
Deion Sanders, as we mentioned before, is the head coach, and people were questioning what this team was going to look like because it's a brand new team. He basically told players on the team before, last year's team, which was 1-11, they won a single game. And he basically told the team, look, if you want to play, you better transfer. Because, I'm not going to play you.
Yeah. He really, we talked about him, too. He is he's the real deal.
Yeah.
But, they played TCU. TCU is so good. They
were undefeated last season until the national championship game where they lost.
So they are the national runners-up.
Yeah.
Big deal. The fans were did you see how, Colorado TCU, there's so much hype around Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Coach Prime.
Yeah.
And there's so much hype around TCU.
Yeah.
The fans came in hot. So Deion Sanders lost 2 of his toes. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Lack of circulation and a bunch of issues.
It was, He lost 2 of his toes. There was a sign that literally said, Deion Sanders lost more toes than Colorado had wins last season.
Yeah.
They were they
ruthless.
Came in ruthless.
And talking about, so his son is the starting quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, played for Jackson State where Deion was coaching. And just trash talking his son, being who is this guy? He thinks he can play D1 football.
Yeah, they were not nice.
They came for blood, and then Colorado beat them.
Yeah, it was an upset.
Crazy upset. It was a very entertaining game.
Did you watch it? I was going to say, did you watch it?
I watched most of it.
Same.
I'm not going to lie.
I missed the first part, I think, but I watched most of it. I watched the end. It was super crazy. Everyone was super hyped.
Dion came out and was like calling everyone out for people who doubted him, who hated on him. So did his son. And then another star, Travis Hunter, who also came from Jackson State, who Dion's like literally coached since he was a kid. And he plays both sides of the ball. So he plays offense and defense.
Super impressive.
Had multiple touchdowns and an interception. Like, crazy. Like, the fact that he just does what
doing
he does
any of those things is crazy.
And now he's, like, in the running for, like, Heisman. And, like, so much. They went from nothing. Like, started from the bottom. And now they're, like, basically, they're ranked. They just got ranked 22 in the nation. Like, they went from nothing to, like, everything.
It was super epic, and I'm just trying to let primetime grow on me, because there were some things he said early on in the season that I was like, what? But then there's other things he said where he's like, you will go to class, you will be respectful, you will be front row. I'm like, I respect that. And I've been doing some digging, because I'm like, is this going to grow on me, him being a head coach? Because in his post-game interviews, he did, like, talk a bunch about the players and stuff, where, like, the media was making it seem like it was very much about him. But do you know what he does in his pregame speech? He ends every pregame speech with, now play me my theme music.
Yeah.
And they play him, like, his theme song. Yeah. And I just, like, I listened to this pregame speech, and I'm like, yeah. And then it ends with now play me my theme music. And I'm like,
and you ruined it.
I'm like, this is so... It, like, is funny, though.
Yeah, he really goes back and forth between being about the team and being about him.
Yes.
It really is.
And I guess he probably just does not know how to not be about himself, probably. Like, he's probably trying.
And also, I think part of it... So, they're making, like, a documentary about him while this is all going on.
No, I didn't, but that's cool and
so
is not surprising.
I don't know if it's Amazon Prime or Netflix, but a documentary is being made about him and this team. Like, that was part of his recruiting, was like, hey, you want to be, like, famous? Because not only are you going to play on the field, but, like, we're making a documentary about all of this. And so I think part of it is he's prime time. He's putting on
it's always a show.
And
very true.
So I think part of it is that, but also, like his coaching style is very different, and people just aren't used to it.
The coaching aspect of it is cool and impressive to me. I'm like, he's clearly a good coach. He clearly knows about the game. He clearly knows what type of players he wants and needs.
His personality is just different than most coaches that show, like, dominant coaching, like Saban.
100%.
And, like, Dabo Sweeney. And, like, those people are very buttoned up, very, like...
Well, and I don't even love, especially Saban. Like, it's not that I love, like, that attitude. It's just they are very different.
Yeah, and I think people just aren't necessarily ready for it or know how to, like,
100%. I'm trying to figure out how I feel.
Yeah.
Because I loved, like, him playing in the MLB and NFL is wild, and I did love that. So, like, I loved him then. I'm just like, how do I feel about this new role?
Yeah, it's definitely an adjustment for everyone.
That was pretty epic.
We'll keep you updated, because I think it was a crazy one and it was great, but, like, it's a long season. So
it is.
We'll see how...
I know, that's the only thing is I'm like, that stuff better age
like, everyone, like, slow your roll, because, like, it was one game.
Yeah.
It was a big game.
I don't want them to suck.
I don't either. But, let's
see how... Let's let them continue to prove themselves is the hope. Meanwhile... More football.
Yes.
Let's start with this. Travis Kelce is questionable to play in the season opener.
Yes, which is Friday so the Chiefs are playing the Lions.
Oh, I didn't even tell you. I think I might go to a game on Sunday. An NFL game. I'm going to be in...
Oh my gosh. I was like, wait, how are you going to...
I'm going to be in Southern California, and I think I'm going to go to Chargers Dolphins.
Oh my God, it's so fun.
Isn't that fun? Yeah, Hunter and I are going. We haven't gotten tickets yet, but we're kind of like, well, let's just get nosebleeds.
Yeah.
Let's just wait right before and get nosebleeds. I've never been to an NFL game.
I haven't either.
And I want to go so bad. I'll tell you if it's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways.
We'll have to talk about that next time.
Yeah, I'll recap that. But that's not this game. Travis Kelce is injured. And we just, listen, a lot of fantasy. Well, I guess you haven't picked who you're starting yet.
Yeah.
So you should be fine.
But also we just love him.
But also we just love him and we're just sad.
Yeah. Like we want him to
be healthy and happy.
And do what he does.
Yeah. Someone else we love, the world loves, is Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. And there have been rumors for like a week or two now about how he's engaged.
And the world is not taking it well.
The world is not taking it well.
It's kind of funny.
Literally, it's hilarious. I can't even remember the TikToks now.
Yeah.
They're just so funny. It's like all these girls getting so emotional
sad.
And upset.
Yeah. Like a bar, I guess, is like giving away a shot. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Something to do with like
emotional shot. Like dealing with your emotions about Joe Burrow's engagement shot. Like something like that.
He plays for the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's like in Cincinnati that they're giving out the shot. Free shots for women who are struggling with the rumor. With the rumor. We don't even know if it's true. But their relationship is so private that it's like, it very well could be true. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Speaking of, though, we can continue to talk about these players. And like we said, we're going to be categorizing some big names in the NFL.
And when we're trying to figure out how to do this, we're like, okay, how do we want to categorize this? Like, what's the move? And Sarah was like, okay, I've seen this TikTok where it's like everyone is either... Boys are split up into three categories. They're either a golden retriever boy, a Doberman boy, or a black cat boy. Like, that's who they are. Like, not meaning they would, like, own one necessarily.
No. It's, like, personality-wise,
energy,
vibes, what they give off.
So, Joe Burrow.
And should we kind of explain...
Oh, I kind of feel like... I guess we could explain each. But I feel like
fun and like golden retriever. If you don't know what we mean, they're fun, they're playful, they're loyal.
You think of a golden retriever, they're just like good energy,
always by your side.
Good boy.
Yeah,
they're a good boy.
A good boy. Doberman, a little more tough,
protective,
like very type A, dominant, like
yes. That's honestly tough guy.
Yeah.
Good boy, tough guy. Black cat. I just think black cat's like kind of mysterious, kind of a weirdo.
Out there. Like you don't really know how to describe them.
Mm-hmm. Literally, like they're hard to describe.
Yeah.
That's how I think of a
black cat boy.
A black cat boy.
Yeah.
All right. With that in mind,
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. What is Joe Burrow? A golden retriever, black cat, or Doberman?
He's like very hard for me, and there can be combinations. So, like you said, their love life's very private. I feel like a lot of Joe Burrow's life is very private, because of that, he gives off a mysterious vibe, which gives me kind of black cat vibes. But he also gives very much like, I don't want to say complete Doberman, but like he is very like confident in himself. You know what I mean?
Really,
strong.
Yeah.
So, like, I have a hard time, but, like, he's also loyal. So there's a little bit...
You're struggling, like, with one category.
Yeah. I feel like he's kind of a little bit of combination. But, like, that's why I had to say, like, the black cat thing is just because he's a little mysterious because he doesn't put everything out there.
Okay, that's true.
You know?
That I didn't think of. When I think Joe Burrow, though, I think golden retriever. Have you seen him introduce himself, like... during the Super Bowl, he's like, "Hi, I'm Joe. Nice to meet you." Like, or like big players. Yeah. Like he's like, "Hey, Aaron Donald. Aaron, my name's Joe. Nice to meet you. Hey, love watching you, man." Or he's like chatting with the refs. He's like,
very golden.
He's like, they're like, "Hey, you gotta learn how to slide." He's like, "I know, I'm trying." Like he's like
kind of silly,
kind of just like. A lot of people on the field are, like, mean and nasty. He'll literally get tackled, and he's like, hey, it was a nice hit, man.
See, and that's where I'm like, on the field, he's like that. But then, like, his swag, like, Goldens don't really have swag. Whereas, like, a Doberman has swag.
Yeah, but I almost feel like that could be black cat energy, too, for some reason. True. So I would say maybe, for me, I'm giving, like... Golden.
Black cat.
Golden retriever, a little bit of black cat.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
All right.
This is so fun.
We mentioned Travis Kelce. He gives me major, personality-wise, major golden retriever.
But I think on the field, Doberman.
Yep.
That's what I think.
I was going to say, like, physicality, Doberman.
Yes.
His face and his personality, golden retriever.
100%. He's, like, goofy and funny, but then, like, you hear about it, like, we see him just punch a dude on the field during practice.
Yeah. And from, like, listening to his podcast, he was always like, all right then, all the time. And I don't know what it is, but, like, major, like...
It's giving golden retriever.
Yeah.
On the field, it's giving Doberman.
Yep.
100%.
Glad we're on the same page for that
we really are.
Okay. Aaron Donald plays for the Rams. Defensive player.
I think for me, and maybe it's just because he's so dominant in a defensive player, I just feel Doberman.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think we're on the same page. He gives major Doberman
big old, like, big guy.
Like, I don't know if you saw when they won the Super Bowl, like, the celebration after the parade, and he's, like, shirtless and, like, just jacked. And I'm like, major Doberman vibes.
So true. That's actually such a good example, too, where it's, like, off field. Even off the field. He's like that.
Doberman. Yeah.
Okay, this one is really Brock Purdy. So he's now the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
Kira and I forever ago talked about how he was Mr. Irrelevant, picked last in the draft.
Yeah.
And then, like, basically all these guys got hurt in San Francisco. And so he, like, became the guy and balled out.
Mm-hmm.
This, I think, might...
I'm curious to hear what you have to say. Because I, like, don't know a ton about him.
100%. Yeah. I do know a lot about him.
Where you do, so I want to hear your thoughts first, and then...
So, I feel like he is mainly Doberman with a little bit of golden retriever. Because they said, like, from the first... Like, he will, like, call vets out at practice. Like, he's not scared to be like, what are you doing? Like, he, like... owns his play, owns the locker room. Like, even as this, like, Mr. Irrelevant guy, he was like that. That being said, he's very, like, gracious and, I don't know.
Is it fair to say, looks-wise?
Are you going to say looks? Okay, you're saying
looks-wise, he looks like a golden retriever.
100%.
But, like, field personality and, like, team personality, he's a Doberman. Is that fair to say? Okay, I wanted to hear your thoughts because I was like, I think... I want to say golden, but I don't know how to, like, what part is golden. But I think looks-wise, he for sure looks like a golden, but that's, like, not the vibe he gives off on the field.
And he's just, like, a very, like, I feel like off the field, he's very, like, Christian values, just very, like, which doesn't mean you're, like, necessarily, like, tender, but, like, he does... He does give off good boy vibes sometimes. Yeah. So I feel like... looks in that sense, golden retriever. But, like, I was like, oh, he's, like, calling people out already. Yeah. Like, that takes a lot of confidence, which makes sense for quarterback. But, okay.
Speaking of another quarterback, Jalen Hurts.
I love Jalen Hurts.
I love Jalen Hurts, too.
Who doesn't love Jalen Hurts? You go first.
Yeah, I was going to say, I get major, like, I get major Doberman vibes.
Me, too.
Like, I was, like, trying to say, like, he's, like, thoughtful, but I feel like you can be a Doberman and still be, like, thoughtful.
Same. You like, Doberman are, like, smart, I think. I think they're smart dogs. And I just think, Jalen Hurts is Doberman. 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, same. Okay.
Cool.
Quick with that one. All right, next one. Kind of this is... kind of a character. I'm like, how do I even describe
I'm so excited.
Jamal Williams?
Guys, Jamal Williams, he went to BYU, so Sarah and I are very familiar with him.
Yeah.
But the rest of the world's familiar with him because he says the craziest things in interviews.
Most outlandish things.
He's like, he played when the field was wet, and he's like, I was just out there like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Like,
I felt like Elsa.
Yeah. I felt like Elsa.
When it snowed one day, or like, he's just like,
he's always making anime references. Literally, last year he was it last year he was with the Lions?
Yes.
He was like, gave an analogy because he was with the Packers and then he went with the Lions, and he was like, you know, when I was with the Packers, I was with my girl. He like described it to dating. He's like, and then I left and like I was lonely, I was confused. Then the Lions picked me up. They started.
I got a new girl.
They started taking me to dinner. Like I don't remember.
I was treated right.
Yeah, it's like they were treating me nice. Like this is like that is not word for word what he said, but that's the vibes, and he talks like that all the time.
And like at the beginning of games, they do like the lineups, like player intros. And the guys get up there and say, like, their name and, like, what college they went to and their position or whatever.
Yeah.
And he gets up there and he says his name. And for position, he says some, like, anime character and then says, like, the college as in, like, the hidden village of the demons or something like that. And it's some anime reference.
Guys.
And he's just, like, he's a wild guy.
He's something else.
I just wonder what goes on in his head.
Because I wonder what goes on in his head.
Black cat. Yeah. He's just a weirdo. He's kind of out there. You just never know what you're going to get with him.
Yeah.
And I feel like cats in general, black cats especially, you just never know.
If someone argued with me and said golden retriever vibes, I wouldn't push back too much because he is like so silly. Goofy and fun and silly. Yeah. But it's the like weirdness. Yeah. I don't even think he knows what he's saying next. That's the black cat for me.
Yeah. For sure. All right.
That was a good one. You guys, we gotta read some quotes by Jamal Williams. Okay?
Yeah, they're funny.
Aaron Rodgers. I'm thinking, did you go first last time? I don't know.
I think I did. You go.
Okay. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers. I'm thinking he's not a golden retriever.
No.
It's not in him.
Nope.
I feel like he thinks he is full Doberman. But I think he's Doberman black cat.
Yep, we're on the same page. I think leadership-wise and as a player, like, he gives Doberman vibes. But him off the field, he's like, I don't know, weird. He's like a hippie. Yeah. He's like weird and has like...
Not like in a bad way.
Not in a bad way, yeah. But
I just was like, he's weird, but like...
Yeah, he has like very out there thoughts and like... Yes. He straight up like did like a 3-day fast in the middle of nowhere on the off season to like clear his aura or whatever. Uh-huh. Like that's
black cat to me.
Yeah, that's very black cat. Whereas like on the field, he's a great leader, a great athlete, so that's what gives me Doberman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I think Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, we're like on the same page for a lot of these.
Yeah. And like we didn't talk about this before.
No, we did not.
We have a list of names and that is it.
And we have should we just do like one or two more players and just do the coaches?
Yeah.
Okay, which one do you want to do? Pick one final player, Sarah.
I feel like OBJ is interesting.
Okay, yeah, we'll do him.
You know? Odell Beckham Jr.
I don't know how to classify him.
I don't either.
I'm just laughing that that's the one we picked for the last one. I truly am trying to think.
Because I don't think he's golden retriever.
No, I don't think so either.
So, and...
I think he might be black cat, and I can't really nail
down
black
cat with a little bit of Doberman.
Yeah.
Because I don't know a lot about him, I get a mysterious vibe from him. He also is a little out there with like, he dyes his hair crazy colors.
True.
His fashion's kind of out there.
True.
So like, that's what gives me black cat vibes, but he's like a beast on the field. You know what I mean?
But I feel like you could be a beast on the field and still be
black cat.
Black cat.
Yeah.
It's Jamal Williams.
Yeah. It's very true.
Okay, we're gonna just end with a couple coaches just to give some variety here. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mike McDaniels is the Dolphins head coach. If you guys saw this man, you would not think he is a head coach. You would think he is.
And you might have, because I've seen like clips of him on TikTok and places, and was like, oh, like he's on the coaching staff of the Dolphins. I didn't read that much into it. But he's just a weird guy.
He is so weird.
And he's, like, looks young.
He's very young.
Yeah,
he's very young. He is, like, a football mastermind, though.
Yeah.
He's so smart. But he, too, says, like, get him and Jamal Williams in a room. So I'm begging.
Yeah, no.
Please.
What a conversation that would be.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Because the things he says are just, like, weird.
And at the random times. Like, I feel like he doesn't.
During a game.
Like social cues.
They're not there.
Doesn't seem to be there with him.
Like, he's just like, yeah, I don't shower between Wednesday and Saturday.
What? Why?
Sir? What?
Yeah, he gives very much black cat vibes.
He's black cat for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Should we just do one more head coach?
Yeah. Which one do you want to
I think we should do Andy Reid because the other one we have is obvious. I guess we could say it because it won't take long. Bill Belichick. Doberman.
Yeah.
100%
sure.
Doberman.
He's the Patriots head coach.
He's like Coach Tom Brady for forever.
Forever. He's been in the league forever.
Super well known, and there's literally just think of a Doberman and that's him. I don't have to say much more. But Andy Reid, he also went to BYU. He is now the coach for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he is golden retriever 1,000%.
100%. Yep, to a T.
To a T. This man wins a Super Bowl, and they're like, Andy, how you feeling? And he's like, great. I'm just gonna go home, have a cheeseburger with my wife.
He loves cheeseburgers.
He always talks about cheeseburgers.
His iconic mustache, which is a little like silly and weird.
And he's just like this big guy.
Yes.
Like he is so golden retriever.
Yeah.
I just actually, as I was like right before we filmed this, I saw an interview with him. They're like, Andy, are you wearing your Super Bowl ring? And he's like, he points to his wedding ring and he's like, this is the only Super Bowl ring I need. I was like, okay, bye. That's the cutest thing ever.
That is so cute.
He's 100% golden retriever. What are you, Sarah?
That's a good question that I didn't know you were going to throw at me.
I just thought of it. I'm struggling.
I feel like I'm a mix.
I do too. I'm thinking of different things
I feel like I have a little bit of all three in me. Maybe that's weird.
I feel like
this is why it applies to just boys.
This is why, because it doesn't work with girls. You're right.
We'll put it that way.
Because would you say that I'm just like a mix too, or what would you?
Yeah, I would say you're a mix of golden retriever and Doberman.
Yeah, I could see that. I'm not
like,
very
you're
black
very
catty.
Yeah. I don't feel like you're very black cat.
But then again,
you're very loyal and you can be playful and fun, but man, if you take off Kiki, you don't want to take off Kiki.
It makes me sound terrible.
No, you're amazing. But like No,
I swear you're fine. I promise.
No, I just mean like you know what you want and
True.
You don't let people push you around.
True.
You know what I mean?
But I feel like that's where you're like Doberman is like you're like, okay, I need to set boundaries. This is how things are going to go. Yeah. I will express myself. Yeah. Like that's where you're Doberman, but then you're just like I just think about like laughing with you all the time and I'm like a golden retriever. Yeah. Sarah's like the best person to just joke around with and laugh so much.
But I also can say the most stupid things.
Yeah. But then like I feel like I don't know what the black cat in you is just like I don't even know. I can't describe it. But are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I got a text from work and so I was just
well, it's a good thing we're wrapping up.
Yeah. It's like one of my coworkers called me. So
well, you know what? Let's finish this and you can call her or him, I don't know, right back. We're gonna finish this with something super, super awesome because we love our women's highlight. Mm-hmm. Nebraska women's volleyball. They set a new women's sporting event world record last week for like highest attended women's sporting event ever. Yeah. With 92,003 people in attendance. Which is crazy. It's like the three.
Yeah. Like a little over 92,000.
A little over, yeah.
Which is
just
wild.
A few over 92,000.
They literally held the game in their football stadium because of how big it was.
Packed. And like a volleyball court is much smaller than a field. So they had people on like the field
around the court. Yeah. It was insane.
Women's volleyball in general, but women's volleyball, so fun to watch.
It's so fun and so entertaining.
Fun. That does not surprise me that happened.
I feel like people don't, like, it's kind of underrated.
And you know what? This is cool because I feel like I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't that long ago that the record was set with like the Barca women's team. Mm-hmm. And it was like 91,000 or something like, or 90,000. Yeah. So it's just cool that we're like making those, like hitting those milestones like pretty fast after each other. Like that was earlier this year, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I'm just like, that's awesome. That's fantastic, impressive. I love it.
Yeah. That's amazing. And I'm like, another great step.
I'm like, I'm jealous. I wish I was there.
Honestly, it looked like a blast.
It did.
So,
but that's kind of all we got. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Hope you like this.
Hope you like this. Start judging all the men in your life. Are they golden retriever, Doberman, or black cat?
Let us know.
And if you're feeling so generous, give us a review. Reviews are everything. Mm-hmm. Comment. We're just really grateful that you guys listen.
Follow us on Instagram.
Check out our Instagram. We always highlight the things we talk about. But that's all we have on Calling the Shots. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.